Here's how to change the oil on a Subaru Outback car from 2003 to 2009 with this body style. This is a 2.5 liter non-turbo. 18 millimeter wrench. Turn it counterclockwise to let the oil out. The oil filter is located up between all of the exhaust on the passenger side of the car. So you need a special socket adapter to get in there and get it out. This is exactly what you'll need. So this is a 67 millimeter 14 flute oil cap wrench from Pennzoil. I'll put a link in the description where you can get one of these if you don't already have one. And you can see it just fits perfectly over little bumps on the end of it like a nut would fit into a socket. Now I have the car up on ramps to just make it easier to get to everything. You can do that or jack it up, and then you can see right in there is where I'm reaching in to get the oil filter. It's pretty hard to get a camera in there, so this is the best I can do in terms of giving you a live action shot of it. And then you just turn it counterclockwise to get it loose. I would recommend waiting for the car to cool off a little bit when you do this because that exhaust gets hot. And at some point it will start dripping. So I got it loose enough where I could turn it by hand and then kind of get in there with my hands and let it drip for a little while. So it's not going to make too much of a mess when I go in there and take it out. So here it is, fast forward a few minutes and the dripping is all done. And then I can reach in there and just kind of unscrew it and take it the rest of the way out, trying to keep it upright all the way down so I don't spill anything on my exhaust pipe. I like to fill up the oil filter with oil before I put it on there. That way, when you start up the car, there's no low oil pressure light. There's no issues with oil pressure if you already have oil in the filter, like so. And then also put a little bit around the rubber gasket on the top and also clean off where that gasket is going to meet the engine to make sure that it's a clean surface. And if you did get any oil on your exhaust system, wipe it off so it doesn't smoke when you start it up. And then put the filter in there. We're going to screw it in there so that it just barely makes contact. And once it's touched down, you do one full turn. So that's a half. And that's a full turn. And you're done. Here's the model of the oil filter that I used. And to put it back on, 18 millimeter wrench, 33 foot-pounds of torque, and make sure you inspect the gasket or replace it. There's a little rubber gasket on here. And then you're going to need to put some oil in it, so take the cap off. I like to use a funnel because it's a pretty narrow hole to try and get the oil into. This is what I'm using, is 5W30 motor oil. It says on the cap which oil to use. This is the 2.5 liter non-turbo version of the Subaru motor for the Subaru Outback. And then pour it in. And then I put in about 4.5 quarts and check the dipstick. But remember, my car is up on ramps, so I get 4.5 quarts in there, and then I'm going to back it off down the ramp. And you can see when I start up the car, the check oil light doesn't come on because I pre-filled the oil filter with oil, so that's a good sign. Everything's running normally. And then backing it down off the ramp puts me on level ground, so then I can really check it for real. And I ended up putting in exactly 5 quarts, so that whole bucket filled it up to the top fill line.